Please check your audio and video settings, please. Mr. Pavan, type with patience, guys. It is not data, it is a date. It is not data, it's a date. Use common sense. Okay, guys. This is our servlet component, guys. Everyone enjoyed yesterday's discussion. Yesterday, first we kept the software setup ready. Then we created this deployment directory structure. In that one, we identified what is public area, what is private area, what is public area, what is private area, what is a public area, what is private area. I hope you are understanding my statement, guys. Come on, next one. Surendra, it is there in the group. Please collect it. Yeah, we generally place Java resources in private area, non-Java resources in public area. Then we developed servlet component. Main highlights of servlet component. Our servlet component class should be taken as public class. Method should be taken as public method. Service method. Class should directly or indirectly should implement servlet interface. Okay. So inside the service method, we will be writing request processing logic. Whatever output generated in the service method, we should write to what? Response object. Response object writes to web container. Web container writes to web server. Web server, come on. Web server writes to browser, and browser will put onto the web page. Okay, guys. WebINF and its subfolders are called private area. Is that clear, guys? Okay. But to write mess output to response object, we need a stream. But you need not to create that stream manually and explicitly. You call res.getWriter method. What method? You call res.getWriter method. Then you will get built-in stream that is there inside the response object to the service method. On that you call what? pw.println method. Okay. So println method writes the messages to response object. Response object gives to web container. Web container gives to web server. Web server gives to browser. Browser displays it onto the web page. Okay. Class should be taken as public class, guys. Method should be taken as public. And directly, indirectly, there should be zero param constructor in our servlet component class, because servlet container always creates our servlet component class by using zero param constructor. This is my business logic. Okay, whatever output generated, I am writing here. I am getting the print rate. Okay, guys. Pavan, I will murder you if you ask this question one more time. Waste fellow. I have seen your message in the starting itself. I cleared. Mr. Pavan, if in the date it should be E and you are typing A, shame on you. This is the second time I am clarifying. Shame on you, Ra, to paste this error in the chat box. Moreover, you already pasted in the beginning. I have given clarification. Again, you are pasting the error. Don't type the code. Use brain while typing the code. What is the spell of date, guys? D-A-T-E. What it has written? Data. Is there any class called data? At least you should read the error, na? Cannot find symbol date. Please work. Don't do blind hard work. You read the error, in error itself, solution will be there. Okay. Lastly, every stream should be closed. Hmm. Every stream should be closed, and we are closing print writer stream also. We are closing print writer stream also. Okay, when pw dot close is called, not only it closes the stream, it also commits the output to response object. Okay, then we have to add jar file to the class path. Then we need to add jar file to the class path environment variable. Why, sir? Hmm. Okay, Servlet API is not there in JDK. It is there in what? Servlet-API.jar. From that jar file, you have to get it. Okay, guys. Next one. Compile the Servlet component class. Compile the Servlet component class. Yes, here compilation is taking place. Here compilation is taking place. Okay, guys. Step 1, step 2. Here is my step 3, 4, 5. Okay. Shall we get into the discussions, guys? Okay. Now tell me, Servlet component is there in public area na private area na? Private area. So without taking permission from Servlet container through web.xml, can I give request to Servlet component? No. Okay. Step number 6. Develop web.xml file having Servlet configuration and Servlet mapping. Having Servlet configuration and Servlet mapping. What is a Servlet configuration? It is all about writing. It is all about writing Servlet component class details to Servlet container, like servlet component full, like fully qualified servlet component class name, fully qualified servlet component class name. Fully qualified means package name, with package name. Logical name internally becomes object name. Array, when object is created, what will be the object name? And etc. Okay, for this we need to use servlet comma servlet hyphen name comma, that is for logical name, guys. Servlet hyphen class tags. Okay. Servlet mapping, guys. It is all about linking servlet component with URL, request to URL. Array, mapping, linking, one and the same na, guys. I will map you with partner. Oh, I will link you with partner. Come on, guys. Okay. It is all about linking or mapping servlet component with request to URL. Request to URL. So then request URL and asking permission from servlet container. Permission for servlet container. Okay. To allow request. To allow request with the given URL going to what component? Servlet component. To allow request with the given URL going to servlet component. I hope you got a clarity, guys. To allow request with the given URL going to so this is my servlet configuration, guys. This is my servlet mapping, guys. Are you comfortable with me, guys? Are you understanding my statement, guys? Okay. Right. Where we should do all these things here in web.xml file. So now let me develop web.xml file here. G drive, date app, webin, web.xml. Web.xml. This is the root tag, guys. Sir, I don't know anything about XML. If you don't know XML also, not a problem. Okay, before this, you want to say for this, we need to use servlet mapping, comma, servlet name, comma, URL hyphen pattern tags. URL hyphen pattern tags. Okay, guys. Sir, I don't know about XML. You see this, you will get idea. Web app, these are fixed tags, guys. You cannot take your own tags. Why fixed tags, guys? Who has given these tags as the fixed tags? Servlet technology people, Sun Microsystem has given these fixed tags. Why, sir? Suppose if they have not given fixed tag, I use my own tags, X programmer uses his own tags, Z programmer uses his own tags. So it becomes impossible for servlet container to apply the meanings. Come on, guys, to apply the meanings. Suppose, listen, I am driving vehicle left side, someone driving like the right side, someone not follow. So that's why in India, there are traffic rules to follow or not. In India, there are traffic rules to follow or not. Come on. India, definitely there are traffic rules to follow. If you don't follow traffic rules, okay, it's impossible to control the traffic, right now? Similarly, if every programmer uses his own tags, then how container can apply meaning for that? That's why Sun Microsystem has given set of tags to use, and all programmers should use same tags with their choice data. Data of the tags may change, but tag names are fixed, guys. Okay. Comment in XML is same as HTML, guys. Servlet configuration. Servlet configuration. Now tell me. For that one tags, servlet open end. Under this servlet hyphen name, logical name, date. Servlet hyphen name. Next. Servlet hyphen class. com.nt dot com.nt.servlet dot date servlet hyphen class. This is logical name, guys. This is fully qualified class name. This is logical name. This is fully qualified class name. Okay, guys. Copy this. Paste. Fully qualified class name, guys. Slash slash, okay, first slash syntax, guys, because in address bar all separations are slash. Now you should give this logical name should match. And here tag is not servlet, guys, tag is servlet mapping. Here tag is not servlet class, guys, here tag is url pattern. Okay, slash first url pattern. Are you getting my point, guys? Listen carefully. Whenever request URL contains slash first at the end, that request should go to a servlet which is there in private area having name date servlet in so and so package. In so and so package. Sir, then why should I write two times logical names, sir? Array, 10 servlets are there. 10 servlet tags will be used to write 10 servlet details. For every servlet should be linked with one or other URL pattern, one or other request URL. For that one, 10 servlet mapping tags we will be taking. To get the link between servlet tag and servlet mapping tag, we should match the logical name. Here logical name should match. Should match or need not to match? Should match or need not to match? Okay, even one. Here servlet information, here mapping information. But how this URL will be linked to this servlet? How container knows whenever request comes having this URL at the end, okay, request should go to this servlet. That's why this logical name should match. And because of that matching, only link has come between this URL information and servlet information. Here is my servlet configuration. Here is my servlet mapping configuration. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. So this is web.xml file, guys. This is web.xml file. Here what we are doing, giving servlet component details to servlet container. Okay, guys, this is logical name. This is a logical name. This is logical name. Fully qualified servlet component class name. Fully qualified servlet component class name. This is logical name. Logical name. This is URL pattern. URL pattern. Okay, guys. This is servlet mapping. Linking or mapping. Okay, certain request URL with certain request URL with servlet component. Linking or mapping certain request URL with servlet component. Okay. Though Servlet component is placed in private area. Okay, na? Right. Next note. The logical names of servlet configuration, and servlet mapping must match in order to map or link certain request URL with certain servlet component. In order to map or link certain request URL with certain servlet component. In order to map or link certain request URL with certain servlet component. I hope you understood this point, guys. Everyone got this one clearly, guys. Come on. I hope you enjoyed it nicely. Here's by seeing this, by seeing this, okay, servlet container knows about, oh, there is a servlet in so and so package having so and so name in web/inf/classes folder. By seeing this, oh, that servlet is mapped with what? Slash first. Whenever request URL ends with the slash first in the address bar, in the URL, that request automatically goes to this servlet. Tell me, like this, one servlet will be there, or lots of servlets will be there? Lots of servlet. Lots of servlet details, lots of URL details. So which URL should be mapped with which servlet will be decided based on this logical names matching. Based on this logical name matching. See, boss, so many lockers, so many students. Okay. But which locker belongs to which student? It's all about key matching or not. Key matching to locker or not. Based on key matching to locker log, which one will belongs to which one will be decided. Okay. Anyhow, discussion has come about XML now, guys. XML is strictly typed. XML is strictly typed. Should be there means should be there. XML is case sensitive. Tag names, name, attribute names are case sensitive. Case sensitive. XML tags are generally user defined. Generally user defined. But are you understanding my point? Logical name, class name should be unique here, no doubt in that. XML tags are generally user defined, but if you are developing XML file based on certain technology, rules and guidelines, then XML tag names are XML tag names are fixed names. Rules and guidelines, then XML tag names. Then XML tag names are fixed names. If you are developing XML file based on certain rules and guidelines, certain technology rules and guidelines. Then the XML tag names are, then XML tag names will be fixed names. XML tag names will be fixed names. Okay, guys. Next one. XML is given to describe data. That means to define data, to explain what data is. What data is. Come on, guys. Fine. Next one. All tags must be nested properly. In which order you have opened, in the same order you have to close. All tags must be nested at regular intervals. Okay, must be nested. XML tags must be nested properly. In which order they are opening is there, in the reverse order. They should properly. All tags must be nested properly. In which order they are opened, in the same reverse order we should close, guys. Okay, guys. Next one. After closing root tag, nothing but slash web app, uh, we cannot write any other data, not timer, that is illegal. We cannot write any other data. We should not write any other data. Okay, boss. XML tag attribute should have codes. Codes are double quotes or single quotes. XML attributes should have double quotes or single quotes. Double quotes or single quotes. But taking XML tag without a double quotes or single quote is meaningless. Is seriously meaningless. I think you got some basic idea about XML here. You'll be studying more about XML in your coming classes, especially in web service batch. Today, I'm just trying to present what is what. Okay, strictly typed. Generally, I say like this. HTML tags are not user defined fixed tags. Not user defined fixed tags. HTML is given for displaying data, applying styles. XML is given, come on. XML is given to describe the data, applying restrictions. XML is for describing data, HTML is for displaying data. One is for describing data, one is for displaying data. I hope you got a clarity there or not there. Array, when you use bold tag, italic tag, okay, other tags in HTML, they will be used to apply styles and to display the data. And whereas HTML tags are what? For displaying data, whereas XML tags are to describe the data. To describe the data, it is there to construct the data or to describe the data, to get more explanation for the data, guys. HTML tags are case sensitive. Okay, HTML, 1 minute. HTML is not strictly typed. HTML is not strictly typed. Mm. That means it is like mother. You do mistake, it will ignore the mistake. Okay. Java, .NET, otherwise C Sharp will bring C Sharp and etc. Or typed, boss. Should be there means should be there. But HTML is not strictly typed. You write one to wrong attributes, wrong tag, it will ignore that and go for next tag. But when it comes to what HTML, sorry, when it comes to Java, JavaScript, whatever it is, they are strictly typed. Strictly typed means okay. Should be there means should be there. Not there means they will reject the file. Not there means they will reject the file. Are you understanding my statement, guys? So these are the basics of XML, guys. We'll see more points in coming classes. Right. Now listen. Web.xml is called deployment descriptor file because this is the first file that will be recognized and executed by okay web server when I deploy the web application. Web server when I deploy the web application. This is the first file that will be loaded, executed, and managed by deployable web application. So that's why this is called deployment descriptor file, guys. What file, guys? Deployment descriptor file. It is also called web application configuration file. All common activities related to web application takes place this. Like in the web application takes place in the web.xml. That's why it is also called web application configuration file. What file here? Web application configuration file. Come on, guys. Are you comfortable with me? Let's see now. Web.xml file is called as deployment descriptor file because this web container automatically loads and takes this file. The moment web application is deployed, deployed in the server. The moment web application is deployed in the server. Web.xml contains all configurations, mappings, related to web.xml contains all configuration mappings related to web application. Related to web application development. Okay, so it is also called as web application configuration file. Right. Web.xml contains all configuration mappings related to what web application development. So it is called also called as web application configuration file. What guys? Web application configuration file. Okay, because anything in the application should be configured through this web.xml. That's the reason this is. Web.xml name is fixed. You can take your choice name. The web.xml file name is fixed. You cannot change it. Can I change its location? No, we cannot change. WebINF classes web.xml. These three component locations should not be changed. These two components location should not be changed. What are those guys? What are those? What are the components? WebINF classes, WebINF classes and web.xml file names must not be changed. Even classes also, classes folder also you can. WebINF comma, classes comma, web.xml file names. File names are fixed. Names are fixed. So their name and location. So their name and location. So their name and location must not be changed. Must not be changed. I hope you got a clarity, guys. Come on, are you with me? WebINF slash classes comma web.xml file names are fixed. So their names and location must not be changed. Yes, guys. Are you comfortable with me, guys? Any doubts in web.xml? This is root tag. Okay. Servlet to write details about servlet component. This is logical name. This is fully qualified class name. This is servlet mapping. Array logical name matches. Then batsman and what URL mapper will look at each other. So accordingly, the URL will be taken. Okay. You can take any logical name. Logical name is your choice. Any class name you should take, but that class name should be there in fully qualified package name along with the .class file. Next, this logical name should match. What is next one? Slash first URL pattern of the servlet component. Okay, when this URL comes in the browser address bar only, servlet container seeks the permission to give access to what servlet component, even though servlet component is available or not, but that one will give permission to this one. Where that permission is available in web.xml file. Seriously, literally, that is there in web.xml file. You can take any choice logical name, but there is a trend to follow. If document name is date servlet, recommended to take date as the logical name. Okay. And now you don't believe step number 1 to step number 5 are completed. You can change URL pattern, you can change class name, but if you change class name, that should reflect here. Okay, if you change class name, that should reflect here. Come on, note. Step 1 to step 5. I think we completed step 5. Step 1 to step 5 are fixed. Okay, step 1 to step 5, talking about development of the step 5 are talking about the development of web application. Development of the web application. Okay. So with this, development is over, guys, because we got .class file, we got servlet, we got deployment directory structure. Yes, we added jar file to class path, we compiled it. So now we have to ask, we have to keep the setup ready for deployment. We have to keep the setup ready for deployment. Come on, step number 6. Start Tomcat server. We need to think about starting Tomcat server, guys. Tell me. G drive, okay, E drive, Tomcat 9, bin directory. Here is what? Tomcat 9.exe file. Server started successfully, guys. Now, what is the one you have to use? Use Tomcat home slash web apps folder. Okay. Sorry. Use Tomcat home slash bin slash Tomcat 9.exe file. Tomcat 9.exe file. Regular one, guys. Deploy the web application. Deploy the web application. Yes, you need to think about deploying the web application. So tell me in Tomcat server how to deploy the web application. Everyone, please tell me. In Tomcat server how to deploy the web application. Everyone, please tell me. Copy Tomcat home slash web apps folder. Sorry, copy webroot folder to Tomcat home slash web apps folder. Understanding my point there? Right. Not servlet. Entire web application you have to copy. Okay, what is this? Copy g:/date app folder to Tomcat home slash web apps folder. Tomcat home means where Tomcat is installed is called Tomcat home. There we have to copy paste. Yes, let's see now. All these things are outside. Copy this. Copied. What is that? E drive. Tomcat 9.x web apps folder. Say paste. Okay. Or if you are that much intelligent, you can directly start creating deployment directory structure in the web apps folder itself. But problem is if 2 3 people are using same machine, when you want to start and you don't want to see server running. When you want to see in server in stopped mode, you want to see in running mode. So that's why better to take what separate Tomcat in all machines. That very lightweight software, yeah, 25 MB, 21 MB is coming, not more than that. Okay. Yes. Next one, step number 8. Test the web application. Tell me, guys, what is the meaning of that? Slash first we have taken. What's the meaning of that? In the request URL, I'm going to have slash first. Then that request will be trapped and taken by web server and will be will be passed to what? Web application. Understanding my statement, right? Test the web application. HTTP colon localhost port number 2525. Okay, next one. Port number 2525. DataPP /first. This is URL pattern of servlet component, guys. This is protocol. Host name and port number of host name and port number of Tomcat server. Host name and port number of Tomcat server. Yeah, this is called web application name, context path, and context root. Also called as context root. Web application name, context path, and context root. This is what, guys? URL pattern of servlet component. So here I have taken /first, guys. Yes, in this place, what is this? URL pattern of servlet component. Okay, guys. Everyone understood my point? This is protocol, host name and port number of Tomcat. This is web application name, also called context path, also called context root. So what is this? /first URL pattern of servlet component. Everyone enjoyed my point, guys? Come on. Because of this protocol is decided. Because of this communication happens between browser and web server. Because of this web application request goes to web application. Okay. Because of this, in the web application, is there any web component whose name is first? Yes, there. Okay, take it and link request to that web component. Take it and link that request to web component. Everyone understood my point, guys? Come on. Crystal clear? Okay, shall I practically implement these steps, guys? Shall we start implementing of these steps one by one? Okay. See the URL boss. Hey browser, go to first URL pattern based servlet component of DataPP web application, okay, which is running on port number localhost 2525, current computer 2525. In that process, it will use HTTP as the protocol. In that process, it will use the HTTP protocol, guys. HTTPS also will be there, but HTTPS is heavy for us. Okay, that's some security and other stuff will comes into. Step 6, step 7, step 8. Shall I do this one practically, guys? Okay. E drive, G drive, DataPP. Copy this. Copy this. E drive, Tomcat Tomcat 9.x. What is next? Web apps. Say paste. Deployment of the web application takes place. Check it out. Data app, WebINF, WebIN classes, date servlet, everything. No problem. Though you use HTTP protocol, generic servlet based servlet can gather only common feature, cannot gather specific features. If you want to get common feature and specific feature, then we have to go for what? HTTP. Understanding my point? Though servlet is developed by using approach 1 or approach 2 or approach 3, we can give request that servlet in all permutations and combinations. Enjoyed, boss? With this, development is over, deployment is over. Now what is there? Left. Testing is left. Okay, open the browser, guys. Here is my what, guys? HTTP colon localhost 2525 data app application /first. See, guys, date and time is coming or not coming. How can you say it's a dynamic web page, guys? Sir, how can you say it's a dynamic web page? See this, refresh, time changing, refresh, time changing, refresh, give some gap, time changing. Tell me, sir, how it can refresh? Refreshing is nothing but sending one more request. Each refresh internally presents one more request. Understanding my point? Each refresh, each button, each click on refresh button sends a request to web component internally. Note. Each request to servlet component. Okay. So we are not creating any HTML file, but in pw.println what we did, HTML tags are written. Check it out. In servlet component pw.println HTML tags are placed. Those tags related messages goes to browse to response object. From response object, it goes to web container. Web container goes to web server. Web server goes to browser. Web server gives to browser. Browser displays on the web page content. Okay, guys. Note. See, boss, are you going to create our servlet class object? Are you going to create request and response objects? Nothing. Everything is taken care by underlying server automatically or not. Everything is taken care by underlying server automatically or not. Come on, guys. Are you with me? Convinced or not? Okay. Okay. So these are the steps that we need to follow, guys. Okay. The comment I want to say, pressing a refresh button in the browser is equal to repeating previous request one more time. Okay. Yeah. Still, right now we are dealing with the generic servlet. Auto refresh cannot be done, but in future I will show auto refresh. In future, definitely I'll show auto refresh, because as of now we are dealing with the generic servlet. Steps are easy, guys. Okay. There is one more doubt in students' mind, guys. What is that? We can create deployment directory structure. In in Tomcat home slash web apps folder directly, but not recommended. Okay, but not recommended. Sir, why it is not recommended? Our application development is in the middle. I started up server. Since application development is in middle, it may get error. Or someone wants to use server, that's why he started. My application development is in middle. Definitely error will come or not. Definitely error will come. What do you say, guys? Right. I hope you will follow these steps, guys. Easy or difficult? Why two times? Why two times servlet information? Here servlet information, here URL information, and we have to link that URL with the servlet by matching logical names. By simply matching logical name. Okay, now listen. One good habit. Once you got the original application in the deployment folder, come on. So here we have to delete date app in the backup, guys. Why, sir? If you don't delete, what happens, we may attempt to do modification on the old one. Actually, now what is moved? Our deployed application is moved there. It's recommended to delete this one once. So now I closed everything. Now you just click on it. Yes. Data app folder is deleted or not deleted? I want reply. Yeah. Now what is the solution? After deployment, I decided to change the source code of the servlet. Then what should I do? After deploying the web application, we decided to send the source code of the servlet. We are already getting date and time in red color. I don't like red color. I want to see in blue color. Okay, guys. What is this? Go to Tomcat 9 web apps folder. Yes, guys. Here is what date app. Don't use outside one, because if you do modification outside one, it won't reflect to server. Because that's why you have to do modification directly in the server one. Classes date servlet.java. Date servlet.java. So I want color, which color? Green, blue color. Yeah. Next, after that, what is this? Recompilation of servlet and reloading of the web application. What do you mean by reloading? All existing objects will be destroyed and new objects will be created in particular web application. When new objects are created, old objects are removed. Okay, new objects you can keep your choice initial data. In new objects, you have to keep your choice initial data. Understanding my statement, guys? Come on, come on. Are you with me? Convinced with me, guys? Date servlet.java, com.nt.servlet date servlet.class. Okay, now you observe. Now you observe. Other day we deleted .java file. No. Classes folder. Yes, guys. We modified color blue. Now go for recompilation. What is that recompilation? Java C -d dot date servlet dot Java. Recompilation is done. If you want, you can add more lines also. Okay, then open the server console, server home page. HTTP colon localhost 2525. We got the home page. Manager app. What's the username? Admin. What's the password? Admin. I think other day we changed admin1, admin1. Huh? Oh no. Admin1. Arre. What's the username password, guys? Anyone is having idea? Admin1, admin1. No. admin. Arre. Don't worry. If you forget like this, what is the option? Conf tomcat-user.xml file. Bin directory conf tomcat-user.xml file. Yes. Here, what is the username password was? Oh, everything is admin1. Okay. In server.xml port number. Here, this one. Localhost 2525. Manager app. Admin1. Admin1. Came, guys. Okay, reload. What is this? Reload. Data app. Opposite to that, we have a reload option. Reload. Once reloaded, next. HTTP colon, HTTP colon, localhost 2525 slash data app slash first. Yes, we got the blue color or not there? We got the blue color or not there? Yes. What is this one? This is the end of the first application development, guys. Okay. Next one. What is this? The modifications done in the modifications done in the sir refresh will reflect modified output in the browser, sir. Browser. I am talking about modifying the source code. Swarup Sarkar use brain. So because .java modification will come in dot class. But to tell to container stop using old dot class file, start using new dot class file. First of all, I should destroy all existing objects. So while creating new object, anyhow, it will take the latest dot class file. The modifications done in the done in the servlet component source code of the deployed web application will reflect only after the recompilation of servlet component and reloading of the web application. Recompilation of the servlet component and reloading of the web application will reflect only after recompilation of servlet component and what? Reloading of the web application. I hope you got a clarity. Okay, for recompilation. For recompilation. Yes. For recompilation. What to do for recompilation? Tomcat, web apps, data app, classes. Right. Go there. Already there are here. Okay. Just to copy paste. This is for recompilation. This is for recompilation of servlet. Next one is for reloading of the web application. For reloading of the web application. Yes, guys. Tell me here. Oh, Tomcat home page. Tomcat home page. How to open Tomcat home page, guys? 2525. Tomcat home page. Next, manager app. Submit username, comma, password. Admin1, admin1. Okay. Go to date app application. Date app web application. Then reload. Then reload. Go to date app web application. Then go for reload, guys. Then go for reload. Are you comfortable, guys? Come on. HTTP localhost 2525. This is my manager app. Submit username and password. Here is my admin1 and admin1. Okay. Go to date app web application, reload. Are you comfortable, guys? Are you understanding my statement here, guys? Come on. For reloading the web application. So modification done in deployed web application servlet component source code will reflect after recompilation of servlet reloading of the web application. Sir, what do you mean by reload? Reload. Okay. Reload. When we reload the web application, all existing objects will be destroyed, including our servlet class object. So when I give next request, it has to think about creating object. So while creating new objects, come on, updated dot class files only will be taken. Come on. Otherwise, old objects may be used again and again. If you are using old object, it will be problem or not there. Okay. Right. Okay. Reload means stopping and starting the web application. Starting the web application. That means, okay, all existing objects will be destroyed. So new objects will be created. Based on updated dot class files. Mr. Vinay Kumar, what I have explained is matching with what I have typed here. I think you got it, guys. Okay, what's the common mistake people do? They do modification in G drive 1, G drive deployment directory structure, and they expect modification to reflect in the browser. No, you have to modify deployed servlet directly. Are you getting my point? Sir, you've said one thing. Servlet is not identified with its what? Class name or logical name. It is identified with the URL pattern. Check it out. I'm trying to give request to servlet by using its class name. 404 error. I'm trying to give request to servlet by using its logical name, date. 404 error. I'll try to give request to by writing you webinf slash classes slash date servlet. 404 error. Actually, you mapped servlet with so and so URL. What is that slash first? That slash first must be there in the request URL at the last word. Then only that request will be mapped with the servlet, though servlet is there in private area. Okay, guys. Next one. After deploying the web application, the servlet component is not identified with its class name or logical name. It is identified with its URL pattern. With its URL pattern, nothing but request URL. With its URL pattern, nothing but request URL. Come on, guys. I think you can do all these things by tomorrow. I hope you can do all these things by tomorrow. Yeah, with this, our first application is completed. Okay. Now listen. Internals also I have to teach. So much internals are there, we have to learn them. See, I have given 8 steps. You followed 8 steps. I typed URL in the address bar, output came. But how all the things are linked, how all the things are interlinked with each other. And first of all, come out of psychological feelings. Sir, I don't know XML. How can I write XML? No, no, no. If you know XML also, that's a different one. There are some fixed tags, fixed, no attributes. Just to remember those tags and type it. That's it. I have given basic idea about the XML, guys. XML is not there to display data on the browser by applying styles. XML is there to construct the data. See, okay, XML is having servlet details. XML is having mapping details. Both the details are given to container. Container using that information to map a certain request URL with a certain servlet component. Did you notice it, guys? Are you understanding my statement here, guys? Come on. Again, it will create an object and modify its value. Then it will not lead to performance issue. Are you are saying reload now, boss? When you are stopping the web application, where is the performance issue, my dear? That to exit. When you say reload, first existing application is stopped. In that process, existing objects are destroyed. So that's your choice, na? You are explicitly asking to reload the web application. I don't think there will be performance issue. I really don't think there will be performance issue. Okay, I'll upload the document, guys. Okay. All these are all steps. Do practicals. It will test your patience. Don't lose your patience. Okay. If you are completed by tomorrow, you are super great. If you failed, you are not concentrating that much. Everything clearly explained. Everything we are learning by analyzing. We are not just learning step 1, step 2, step 3. When I give internals, you will get more clarity. Okay. Vinay Kumar, server shutdown or start port, both are same. Server shutdown port number, start port number, both are same. Sir, if you copy any web application to web apps folder, that is called deployment. That is called deployment. What is -1? I really don't know. Where is -1? I am not seeing it. Okay. Sudha, yes, internals will be discussed tomorrow, not today. Today you practice, get the confidence. Tomorrow I will talk internals. Site is, yes, see, instead of reloading web application, can I restart the server? Yes, you can do that also. But you only observe. Disturbing other applications is easier. Disturbing our own application is easier. When you restart the server shutdown port value is -1. Can I know? Oh, there is no -1, nothing like that, guys. You just to stop the server, gone. Don't worry about those numbers. They are just log messages. They are just log messages. You are talking about this, huh? Okay, guys. Sudha S. This is second application First application related discussions are already done. Procedure is given. That's very easy because only HTMLs are there. Okay, guys. Web app slash my folder slash date app. Not going to work out. You have to copy to web apps folder only. Refresh is done on the browser. Reload is done on the web application. Refresh is towards sending same request to same web component that is already requested from the browser. It's a browser activity. Reload is administrative activity on the web application. End user will do refresh. Technical person who is managing website will do reload. Both are different. Okay, guys. Devesh Pandey, as of now, not possible. If you want to deploy in Tomcat server, it should be web apps folder. No other options. As of now, others. Sarup Sarkar, 23rd, my network is down though I attended a class. You see the videos, in the backup videos, all the classes are there. And as usually, as I said, okay, you can go through the classroom notes also. Thank you, guys. We'll meet